This video is a production by Anya, Brianna, Cameron, and Jessica, and we are going to be talking about shifting baselines of toxins in our drinking water.
Shifting baselines are the result of incremental changes in things such as our environment that are not recognized. That result becomes the norm even though it has changed. This makes a shifted baseline. One example of a shifting baseline would be overfishing. In the 1900s, there were plentiful amounts of fish in the ocean. Since that time, there has been a sufficient decrease in the fish species that populate our waters. However, people today do not notice the significant difference in numbers of fish in the sea because the current quantities are a regularity to us.
Knowing baselines for certain aspects of our environment is important because it allows us to gauge the health of ecosystems, as well as giving us information about why and how these things are occurring. Having that knowledge enables us to come up with ways to fix the problem and shift the baseline back positively to how it was before human interference.
Shifting baselines tie into the topic of toxins in our drinking water because regulations on water treatment and water distribution have changed and become standard in our society. Certain water treatment regulations are negatively shifting baselines since they allow addition of extra harmful chemicals to our water. For instance, pesticides and fertilizers were introduced into farms which eventually found their ways into our water source over time through runoff.
In efforts to make the water drinkable again, officials decided to add chemicals to the water to purify it. This, however, further contributed to the problem because it simply created an even larger concentration of toxins in the water.
In light of this, in 1974, the Safe Drinking Water Act was passed, shifting a baseline positively.
This act was to protect the quality of drinking water in the U.S. It required that all owners or operators of public water systems had to comply with primary standards to ensure that the water is safe for consumption.
Over time, more laws have been passed to protect our drinking water, but it is still not completely safe. Proof of this is in the town of Flint, Michigan. A large portion of that community is being affected by lead poisoning due to the presence of lead in their tap water and bottled water. This epidemic was caused by the pipes in Flint, which were coated in lead on the inside.
Currently, there are over 24,000 chemicals in our drinking water, and 6,000 of those are allowed by contaminant regulations. This being said, there are currently risks for health in our environment and our communities, but it takes time to affect us and dramatically shift our baselines.